Alright, what's up guys? Mr. Meow here with another Spellbreak gauntlet. Today we're going to be doing Conduit, which is hands down my favorite personally. I've had the most fun with it. It just is really smooth to use. I can pull some really high kill games with it, and I love playing it. I love electricity. It's my favorite element, so I love playing this gauntlet. Also guys, I do appreciate all the support you've been giving me on these videos. If you enjoy these, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you haven't already, go check me out on Twitch guys. I do play a lot of Spellbreak on there. I have over 1,000 exiles, almost 2,000, and over 100 wins on PC and Xbox. I do play both, so go check me out at twitch.tv/Mr. Meownandez. Appreciate that everybody. So, I'm going to get started with Conduit. I do feel like this is your highest DPS gauntlet, and it's kind of your AR of the game. It kind of has good mid-range. It can be kind of good at close range and kind of good at long range, but mostly it's a mid-range gauntlet. So the heavy attack on this gauntlet is a really massive lightning strike. It does a ton of damage and also shocks your opponent for 2-3 seconds unless they have harmony on. Really versatile. In getting control of a fight, it can swing it because you can stun them and then start shocking them, and if you're, low, you can really turn it around. The light attack are these really quick lightning strikes. They do a lot of damage, and if you have a white gauntlet, you do 8 or 9 per lightning strike, but if you have a gold one, you do 14, I think. It's a lot of damage. So you can really DPS a lot with the right build, I feel like. It's very powerful, very versatile, and very aggressive, which is what I like about this gauntlet. So we're going to get into the combos and secondary gauntlet options. I do believe that this combos with a lot of your secondary gauntlets. You can use Toxic as your second for that close range option, or Wind if you like Wind. So if you're using Wind with Conduit, you can throw that tornado down and then you can electrify it, which does a lot of damage and stuns your opponent. Not only does it immobilize them, make them slower, but it also will shock them and does just a ton of damage. It's a great option if you can really time it well and get good at it. And Toxicologist is also a very good option because you can throw that toxic bomb down and you can actually electrify that, which also shocks your opponents. So if they're not running Harmony, you can really mess them up and do a ton of damage really fast. Just DPS them and just throw the hammer down, throw your gauntlet on them, and you can basically kill them in a couple of seconds if you can land all your shots and get everything done. So my favorite personal option is to run Conduit with Ice. Now the gauntlets themselves don't really combo, but I do love having that snipe option on top of the mid to close range option with the Conduit gauntlet. I do believe that Ice is just really well paired with most of your gauntlets, but having that snipe option is just very powerful. You can really hit people hard when they're staying away from you, you're staying away from them. It's just really good, and when they start moving towards you, you can just start shocking them, electrocuting them, drop a lightning bolt. Things just get really out of hand for your opponents really fast. I also do like running it with fire, even though again the gauntlets don't exactly have any crazy combos, but a lot of people do run Toxicologist, so when they throw their Toxicologist bomb down, you can just blow it up and it does a ton of damage to them. I do like this option more than just electrifying it. You could do both, but a lot of Toxicologists do run Harmony, so you won't be able to stun them. But if you can hit that explosive fireball on their Toxicologist bomb, it does a lot of damage, so I tend to really, as a second option, like Fire if I really am not feeling Ice, just for the counter of Toxicologist. When it comes to running Stone with Conduit class, I think it's alright. I don't really think there's a wrong answer. I think all of them as a secondary gauntlet have pluses and minuses. I think Stone is a good option for, if somebody's trying to push you and they're in your face, you could just, smash the ground, throw boulders at them. I think if you're looking for a close range option, you will want either Stone Gauntlet or Toxicologist. I think those are your best close range options to pair with Conduit. Now, the big part of running Conduit is how you build it. I personally like doing a high DPS build. You can build this in a way where you have a lot of escapability, but I personally, for the Mind slot, I like Focus Mana. Getting that first shot extra damage is powerful. I do think Runic Fluency is really good. Runic Fluency gives you a lot of options, versatility. You can, if you're pairing flight or, some sort of escape, you can kind of chain your escapes. I'll get into that when we get to the abilities that you get with this class, but I do think Runic Fluency is a pretty powerful option. And as a third, I do like Harmony, just giving that damage reduction and can really be disruptive to your opponents, them having to do more damage and they can't stun you or anything like that. But I do think for Mind, I personally like Focus Mana just because I like to DPS as much as possible. Getting that first shot damage buff is really good, powerful, kind of keeps your foot on the gas in terms of controlling a fight. When it comes to the body scroll, I, again, going with the DPS route, I like Fervor, just getting more damage per second. You get your casting faster. It just helps you destroy people with Conduit, depending on how you use it. I do like Scavenging personally also. I think Scavenging just kind of goes on every single class, but I definitely like Fervor the most. And Dexterity is actually really worth if you can control your movement. If you want to go more of a like dash build, you can really have some mobility with Dexterity. But personally, I like Fervor just DPSing, killing whatever's in front of you, getting a lot of damage down. And finally, with Spirit, you'll hear me say this 1,000 times, thirsty, 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 thirsty. It's just good. I don't really see any reason to run anything else. I love Thirsty. I think it's the best. Getting fast healing is just powerful. But as I said in my last video, if you're running squads, it could be worth to just run Recovery or Recklessness. If your teammates are already running Thirsty and you're kind of getting benefits from them healing fast, maybe, but I just personally like Thirsty. Number one, Recovery is good. It's a great option if you kind of want to heal your health, over time after taking damage. And Recklessness if you really want to double down on the DPS. But Thirsty, guys, I don't know how many times I can say it to you. Thirsty is probably the only thing I ever see in the spirit slot. I don't like anything else. I like to heal fast. It has so many benefits in every situation, especially if you're playing solos. So when it comes to the skill levels of Conduit, I really love how they built this class. I feel like this class also has a lot of good synergy, kind of like Toxicologist. It just all meshes well together, and I really like how they built it. So we're going to kind of first get into your start of the game buff. You get +1 bolt damage until you stop casting. So while you're doing your light attack, you kind of just get +1 damage until you run out of mana. And I feel like that's just, again, more DPS, just powerful. You just smack them in the face, you hit them hard, they just try and run away from you most of the time. So next you kind of have the really good skill level. When you hit the first circle, your lightning strike gives you +1 rune charge. So you'll see me do this a lot. I kind of just like to cast my lightning bolt just so I have 2 of my runes stored up, and then hopefully my cooldown for my lightning strike is done by the time I get into a fight. So you can kind of do 3 of your runes depending on how you want to use them. I personally right now I'm liking flight just because it helps me reposition while I'm fighting or escape if I need to, and it's just really good. You can lightning strike, if you hit them you can just reposition on top, or you can literally do anything you want. So I just find the second skill level very powerful because whatever rune you're using you could just stack it on top of each other. It's insanely powerful and I really like it. It gives you a lot of flexibility and control of every fight. Your third skill level is -100 mana cost when you cast your lightning strike, so you can get to start getting to endgame and do your lightning strike, storing your rune charges. Very powerful, and it doesn't really cost you that much mana, so as soon as that cooldown's done you can just keep doing it. But it also allows you to just do your heavy attack and then start using your light attack a bunch of times. You could DPS the heck out of somebody, do a lot of damage really fast. I find this a very great option, a very great skill level. I love using Conduit so much. There's just so much power in it, so much DPS. Your final skill level for Conduit is +4 lightning strike. So when you cast your massive lightning bolt, it doesn't just strike down 1 lightning bolt, it actually strikes down 5 lightning bolts, which is just incredibly powerful. And all of them do a ton of damage. If they sit in it, they're almost dead. And they're stunned. It's just great. I love this. It just, again, hits so hard. I love Conduit so much. It might not be the best in the world, but you can DPS everybody as much as you like, and it's so good and so powerful. Now kind of getting into runes is, again, very personal preference with runes. I think a lot of the runes pair well with Conduit class. I like Flight the most. I did a lot of Featherfall, but once Lightning got nerfed, Featherfall became a less viable option. So I do like running Flight, but Featherfall is still really good if you can land your shot. It gives you control and height of a fight, so most people are running Toxicologist. You can stay above them. If you can track them well enough, you can just kill them before they even ever get a chance to push you or do anything like that. I do find Flight and Featherfall very aggressive, but Dash and Shadow Step are also just really good if you run the Dexterity build and kind of focus on mobility and agility. I find all 4 of them are really good. A lot of the options for Rune are very good. Invis is just very powerful. It just helps you do so many things. You can sneak up on somebody, just start destroying them. You can get away, heal. There's just so many options. I do advise experimenting with all your runes before you just choose one, because this class is very versatile. It's very, very easy to just kind of pick the wrong things and end up hating the class. But I think if you build this class correctly and to your liking, it's very powerful. And again, guys, I love this class. I personally love it. I've played it the most. I have a 4 KD on PC. I have a 4 KD on Xbox. Like this class just is aggressive. It's just really good if you're trying to play for really high kills. I've had a 14 or 15 kill game multiple times with this class on PC. It's just super fun. I like playing it. You're just foot on the gas, trying to run people over. You're just trying to hit them hard, hit them fast. In squads, it's really good if it's paired with the right gauntlets. If you have the right teammates that play as aggressive as you. Solos, it's also just great. So I just love this class, guys. I would advise trying it. It's again very AR-like. So if you like playing, the DPS CS route, then I would highly advise it, or at least trying it out, because it's my personal favorite, guys. Alright, and that's going to wrap up this Conduit video, guys. I really enjoyed doing this one. Again, this is my favorite, so I do appreciate everybody's support. My next video is going to be Pyro, so kind of keep an eye out for that video. It's going to be coming out next week, and I'm really looking forward to that one, because that's another really, really fun class to play. I'll see you guys later.